Good afternoon. I am going to talk about um, a book today that I have been reading, and I just wrote a book review for, and it launches today. Today is the release day. I'm trying to get a good. Isn't this cover beautiful? I'm going to wait to see if anybody jumps on here with me for just 1 minute, and then I'm going to start. But I'm going to talk about this book today, Until the Mountains Fall. It's written by Connilyn Cossette, and it is biblical fiction. So I'm going to share a few things with you about this. Hey, Barbara, how are you? I haven't seen you in forever. So I'll give it just another minute. But isn't this cover beautiful? This is supposed to be Rivka. She is the main female character in this story. Hi. Hi, Gina. How are you? So, I'm going to go ahead and start talking about this book. This is a new book. This is the third book in the Cities of Refuge series by Connilyn Cossette. This is Until the Mountains Fall, and it is just releasing today. And so I just recently read this, and I wrote a book review, and I will put the link to my review down in the comments. I'm actually giving away 2 copies of this book on my blog. So if you would like to enter to win, you need to go to that link and click on it. I'm sorry, I got distracted by people popping on here. And you need to go click on the link and comment on my blog post to be entered to win. You have until Friday to do that. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about this book. This book is the third. I actually have the other 2 and in the series. So I'm going to put this one down for a second. This is the first one, A Light on the Hill. This is the first book in the Cities of Refuge series. So, and then this is the second book, Shelter of the Most High. And it is the second book, and she actually has a 4th book coming out, and it doesn't come out until next year. So that's going to be hard to wait for, but this is the 3rd book, and it's releasing today. I'm going to say that again. And I wanted to tell you guys, I don't know where to put this. If I hold it, I'll just hold it for a minute. It's based on the Cities of Refuge. I'm going to tell you a little bit about biblical fiction. Biblical fiction is a type of fiction that takes either a person in the Bible or a setting or an event and builds a story around it where the Bible doesn't normally give us information. So good biblical fiction, good authors that write biblical fiction will do their research, and they will write a plausible story, something that would potentially could have happened. And research is a big deal. So you make sure that, the story you write is authentic and plausible, and that it doesn't, it could not and wouldn't make sense. So I've read books like that, and it makes me sad. So, but this is definitely not one of those books. This is absolutely wonderful. She does a lot of research, and so that makes it great. But Cities of Refuge. Cities of Refuge, if you don't know, they were one of 6 cities in the Old Testament that were designated. If a person inadvertently killed someone, they could flee to one of those cities, and they would be safe, and they would be allowed to stay in that city and live in that city until the high priest died. So that meant that their lives were secured for a long time, but they could never leave that city. So, but the Cities of Refuge are a beautiful picture of Jesus. And so I love that she's chosen that to tell this story. And so in this story, the main character is Rivka. And at the very beginning, we see her being given in a Levirate marriage. I hope I said that right. I had to listen to figure out how to pronounce that, but a Levirate marriage. A Levirate marriage is whenever the person's husband dies And so the next of kin in line would marry the woman to continue on the brother's name. So um, um, the story of Ruth in the Bible is a good example of a Levirate marriage. So she's been given in a Levirate marriage, and she's very unhappy about this fact. So I want to read just a little bit. I hope this is okay if I read some of this. I just want to read a little bit about this so that I read a little bit from the story, so maybe it'll pique your curiosity. Um, Chapter 1, Rivka, 25 Av. I don't know what that stands for, AV. In 1380 BC in Kadesh, Israel. So Rivka is in the city of Kadesh, which is one of the cities of refuge, and she lives there. And she is the head priest in the city of Kadesh's daughter. I'd been here before, seated on the same three-legged stool with the same two girls plaiting the black locks around my head, their hands fragrant with sweet almond oil as they entwined tiny white flowers into the braids. Only this time, their matrimonial blessings rang hollow, and the smiles they offered were tinged with grief instead of joy. Fidgeting in my seat, I tugged at my white linen dress, the whisper-smooth fabric I'd once delighted in now constricting and raspy against my skin. How absurd this day was even called a celebration. My husband Gadal having been laid to rest just a month before. If only my father would have had the decency to hand me off like a broodmare quietly. But as the head priest of our city, nothing my father did was without fanfare. So naturally he determined we would not keep this transition to ourselves, but make my obedience a shining example of steadfast commitment to the Torah. You're as beautiful as always, Rivka, Abra said, her tone stilted. My brother. She cleared her throat, false smile wavering. Malachi will be pleased. I pushed aside any thought of her twin brother and what he might or might not think of me. I may be forced to endure a Levirate marriage, but no one could strong-arm me into being glad of it. So she's very, very unhappy that she is being forced into this marriage. Her husband Gadal has just died, like within a month of this, and she is being forced to marry his brother Malachi. And she has known Malachi like her entire life since childhood, and he's always been kind of mean to her and picked on her, so she perceived. And so she's unhappy about this, and they go through with the betrothal and the ceremony, and then she does something really dumb and messes things up. So I'm not going to tell you anything else beyond that. The book is excellent. I loved it so much, and that's why I'm on here talking to you about it right now. I wrote a book review, and you guys can go and read my review on my blog, Beth Listening to Him. But I will read this one part that I wrote about it. I love the story, but at the beginning of the story, I did not like Rivka. She made me so mad. As readers, we can see things the characters cannot see. So we sit on the other side of the pages, so to speak, and scream, "No, don't do it." But alas, they make their own choices anyway. She was unhappy, which I get, but she was throwing away something that could be good for her, even though she couldn't see it. So later on in the novel, my heart does soften towards her. It takes some time for that to happen, though, because she does really dumb things. And so, hey, Connie. I can't believe you're on here. Hey, Carrie. How are you? So I lost my train of thought. So I love the story. I did connect with Rivka a lot because of my own story in my own past, and I've done things that have, if people were watching my story, they would probably be like, "No, don't do that." And in hindsight, I can look back and say, "No, don't do that." But you go through and you make your mistakes and you learn, and just like she does. And I don't want to give away any spoilers. So, but God is a God of redemption, and He is a God of love and mercy. And that's what that scripture about the cities of refuge is about. It's about Jesus. And so I don't want to say anymore, but I do want you guys to check out this book. It is great. if you read the first two, you don't have to read the first two for this to, for you to enjoy this one. The first and the second one, they're all standalone books, but you will get to know the people that are in the stories a little bit more if you read them in sequence, because they keep new people are added, but we get to see people that were in the previous stories. So if you know more about the people in the past stories, it's just more fun. So let me look at my little note card to make sure that I'm saying everything. I wanted to say that I do love biblical fiction. I want to tell you why I love biblical fiction, because it uses the vehicle of story to teach us, and this connects our hearts to the story and in our minds, and we remember things. We remember things when we're connected a lot better. So Jesus did this. He told stories. God did this. That's why the entire Bible is written out the way that it is, so that our hearts and our minds will be connected and will remember. Um, so today is launch day. This book comes out today. You can order it at any online retailer. And I'm giving away 2 copies on my blog. I will put that down in the link. And so you can go to my blog, leave a comment, and I'm going to give away 2 copies on Friday. I will randomly draw someone's name. So Facebook is not affiliated with my giveaway. I'm not sure what I need to say about that. But and also tonight I will share a link in my comments that they're having a Facebook launch party, and they will talk more about Rivka and Malachi in the story. We get to see it through both characters' perspectives. I didn't read the chapters with him talking, but you get like a chapter with Rivka and a chapter with Malachi, so you get to see out of both of their eyes. And so she is also, the publisher is giving away 5 copies of the book during the launch party. So there's lots of chances to win if you're interested. And I hope you guys enjoy this. I hope that you enjoy biblical fiction if you don't read it. There's lots of good books out there, and this is definitely one of them. So have a good day. And if you have any questions for me too, you can leave them down in the comments. I will talk to you soon. Bye.